Hello. Today, 3 signs that your divine masculine twin flame is awakening. And more importantly, what I really want to discuss with you is that a thing? Do they need to awaken in order for them to be with me? Because what do you really want to know? What you want to know is, when are they going to stop running away? When are we going to be able to be together? That's what you really want to know, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, of course it is. And the thing is, you seem to be given the impression from the so-called twin flame community on the internet that that's a thing. Your twin flame, divine masculine, they have to awaken in order for union to happen. So we're going to talk about all the things, guys. If you're new here, welcome everyone. My name is Kurt. I am the world's #1 twin flame coach. I've personally coached over 7,000 twin flame students to date. And of course, my twin flame, she is permanently in my life. Occasionally, she pops up on my YouTube channel. You can watch a video we made together, a few of them actually. If you want to go check out my playlist on this YouTube channel, go check it out. There's a playlist called The True Twin Flame Teachings. I made it easier for you to find all the best videos, including that one, where you get to meet my twin flame and we talk and learn about the perspective of your twin flame. Now, the important thing, guys, is that they stop rejecting you, they stop running from you, and that you guys are going to be together. That's what you really want to know. Whether they awaken or they don't awaken, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as we can be together. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the important part. So I think you're going to find the signs that I'll give you and my explanation of all these things a little different than what you usually get online. So sign number 1, they start talking to you. They come at you with little hearts in their eyes. You know, the little smiley emoji, right, that has little hearts in its eyes, right? And they tell you they want to talk to you and spend time with you, hang out. They take an interest in you. They come at you with a lot of romantic and or sexual energy. Yeah, maybe they're waking up. I don't know. Okay, sign number 2, you are spiritually awakening. We're going to talk about what that looks like. And sign number 3, you're not really focused on them. Strange to say. Strange to say. A lot of you could be experiencing the obsessive thinking right now. It's extremely painful. The beginning portions of this journey, I even made a video about that. Again, on my True Twin Flame Teachings playlist. Go check it out. It's called The 5 True Signs That You've Met Your Twin Flame. And I go into depth into the dark night of the soul experience, all the painful stuff that's happening. The internet is telling you that it's amazing and beautiful, and you guys just love each other so much, and it's wonderful, and you feel horrible. Yeah, go check out that video, my friends. It's a little different than what you're usually going to get. Now, before I explain each of the signs, let's talk about what is going on here. Let's bring some clarity here, okay? Because I seem to be throwing into question whether or not your twin flame awakens, and I'm going to tell you whether or not that is true and why. But I will say this, you awaken spiritually, that is true. And if you focus on that instead of the person, they come back. Your twin flame comes back. So here's the thing, guys. Everybody recognizes that twin flames are the same soul. It's one soul in 2 bodies, right? That's why the term twin flame was invented in the first place, was to describe 2 people who are the same soul. It's not a connection. It's just you. There's only you. There's only one of you. It's just you. Your twin flame is you, okay? But the question is, what is you? See, remember, back to basics spiritualism. That's what I teach on this channel when it comes to twin flames. There's nothing complicated about this at all. So let's talk about back to basics spiritualism. Body, mind, soul. You and your twin flame are the same soul. Who are you beyond the body and the mind? You're a soul. Okay, so this is why people get confused about this. The foundational teaching in the Zen traditions is that you are not your mind. What you really are is beyond the mind. So I think it goes without saying that you're not really your body. So what does that make self? Because what most people think of when they think of self is thinking. Really, believe it or not, most people believe that they are their mind. If you and your twin flame are the same soul, I guess we got to go beyond the mind. See, most people believe that they are this personality, the ego, the id, the personality, right? I call it the identity entity. Spiritual teachers refer to it as the separate self. Separate? Where have we heard that word before? Yeah, people in the twin flame community are using the word separation quite improperly. Now, it's not because they're trying to deceive you, it's because most people are confused about that. Most people think separation is like a stage or a relationship status with your twin flame, but it isn't. It's a state of consciousness. It's where you perceive yourself to be an identity. I'm a mom, I'm a brother, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher, I'm a truck driver, I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative, I've been to these places, I know these things, this is my skill, my vocation, all this knowledge that I've acquired, these experiences that I've had. It's a story. It's a history. And I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying that's what that is. That's the ego personality, that's the mind. That's all thought and emotion. But again, what we're saying is you are beyond mind. You are not the ego mind. If I was to ask you, who are you? You're going to say, I'm a soul. I know, but what is that? It's much easier to understand what that is when we first understand what it is not. Because again, most people on earth believe that they are a thinker. You might even be sitting there trying to think about, understand, concept. Think about, understand what that is. Like, what am I? Like it's a question. See, even a question is a thought. It's consciousness. That's the soul. It's 99% consciousness, almost all consciousness, pure consciousness. And if that doesn't make sense to you, I'll give you an example. Here's an example that I always use. So, have you ever said to yourself, why am I thinking this, right? There's some thoughts, you're having some thoughts or some emotions, and you go, why am I thinking about this? Or why do I feel this way? What's going on, right? And it's just kind of a ordinary thing to say stuff like that. Like, why am I thinking about that, right? Right. Who's asking? There's thoughts and feelings going on, but then there is a consciousness, an awareness of the thinking. Think about it. No pun intended. Really though, there is an awareness of thinking and emotion. What is this awareness? What is consciousness? And the only answer that makes any sense is, that's right, it's you. That's the soul, guys. Again, I just gave you a crash course in transcendentalism, the Zen traditions. The very first chapter in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is called You Are Not Your Mind. These are the teachings of all the great spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle, but also Jesus and Buddha and Paramahansa Yogananda, Alan Watts, Ram Dass, Rupert Spira. There's another person on YouTube that I often reference who does a great job of teaching non-duality. You could check her out too. Anna Brown is her name. She's one of the featured channels on this YouTube channel. She teaches the true spiritual journey. Non-duality is what it's called. The Zen traditions. You are not your mind. You are beyond the mind. Now, the mind is exactly the problem. The mind is separation. It's duality. It perceives other. There's me, and then there's my twin flame. And that's easy to understand, but that's not really you. And you are not that which is trying to understand. You are the awareness of that which tries to understand. This is what I teach all of my twin flame coaching students. You go beyond mind. And when you go beyond mind, you recognize that there's only you. There's not you and your twin flame. You and your twin flame are one. There already is no separation. There is not separateness between you. There's not two. That's the mind's perception of reality. That's the physical manifestation of reincarnation, right? Your twin flame is just another incarnation of your soul, guys. And I even made a recent video about this. If you'd like to go check it out, it's called What Are Twin Flames? Go check that video out. And again, I'm going to also link all of the referenced videos that I've mentioned in this video in the description box down below. So the one where it's my twin flame and I, we're having a little chat. And then What Are Twin Flames? Also, I'll link that video down below for you. So your twin flame literally is you, you guys. Now, what does this have to do with Is My Twin Flame Awakening? What are the signs? Well, it's got everything to do with it. Guys, your twin flame is actually, it's technically, it's one of your incarnations. So here's the thing with this diagram, right? So what this represents is your higher self in what people call heaven, right? Or the energy part of the universe, dark matter, dark energy, you know, kind of thing. It's one of these higher dimensional planes, right? It's beyond matter. It's beyond any kind of physical notion of the universe whatsoever. It's the energy part of the universe, pure energy. And science has even proven that these higher planes exist, right? Like think like the Higgs field, and you're kind of on the right track, okay? But it's much more tenuous than even the Higgs field. So this is where you go when you do the thing that we call die. Now, all of these incarnations, these two red dots here, these represent past lives. That's you and your twin flame. And that's a future reincarnation. Now, technically, this could have been your most recent life. Time is not linear, so you can actually hop all around in time. If you're right here, let's say, when you do the thing that we call die, you could go up here and go back here if you want. You can reincarnate into the past if you want. So that's just kind of a side note about this. Now, what's interesting is all of these individual incarnations of your soul are existing all simultaneously from the perspective of your higher self. And again, this isn't some made-up stuff, guys. This is perfectly in compliance with the laws of physics. I'm not making this stuff up. This is sound science, my friends. It's not quack science. As a matter of fact, you'd be pretty surprised about what physicists are really talking about when it comes to consciousness. I even made a video about that if you want to go check it out. Now, it's called Science Proves the Law of Attraction, but it's really not about the law of attraction per se. It's really a video about how, you know, you turn on television and schools and just the general public at large, they're not really aware of what is going on, what is taking place in the scientific establishment today. The conversations that real top shelf physicists are having. It's all right here, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. Okay? Big name scientists talking about stuff like this. I'm for real, guys. So go check that video out. I'll link it down below for you as well. This is not quackery. Yes, you really are a soul. Yes, there really is such a thing as a soul. And it is consciousness, reincarnation. Now, let's get to the bottom of this thing with your twin flame awakening. Now that I've done all this setup for you, I kind of set the stage, how things work. Does your twin flame awaken? Maybe, but usually not. Here's why. Is it true that every single one of these incarnations of the soul has a spiritual awakening? If you get in a time machine and go back to the year 1770 and meet yourself back there, is that going to be some kind of a spiritually awakened person? Maybe, but probably not. Guys, you've lived hundreds or thousands of past lives. Hundreds or thousands of them. You've awakened in every single one? No. Guys, it doesn't matter if your twin flame awakens. What matters is if you transcend the separation of ego mind. When you do that, they call that detaching, number one. Number two, you remember yourself as what is called unity consciousness. Anna Brown, who I mentioned earlier, she actually just did a video about unity consciousness. And Anna Brown is not a twin flame channel at all. If you ask her about twin flames, she's probably going to be like, I have no idea what that is. I think she might know that I keep directing people to her channel, though. I think she knows about me. I've never talked to her at all. I just picked her because she's a very good teacher of non-duality, of genuine spiritualism. Not the kind of fruity, new agey, woo-woo stuff on the internet. No, real authentic spiritualism. She does it very well. She just made a video addressing unity consciousness, which is where the word union comes from. And that's where you remember that you are your twin flame and you don't understand it. You don't need to understand it. See, that's the mind. It's experienced, you guys. You are being this oneness with your twin flame. You recognize at the deepest level, beyond mind, beyond any understanding, that you are your twin flame. That's where the word union really came from. Unity consciousness. By the way, I made a video specifically about the words. I'll link that one down below for you as well. It's called Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, and Detaching. Go check it out, guys. Now, again, reincarnation. Technically, your twin flame is one of your past lives. I even made a video about that, which I'll link down below for you. It's called Your Twin Flame is Your Past Life. Again, if I'm throwing too many resources at you, well, that's a good thing. I think you'll like my science-based approach, but just go check out the True Twin Flame Teachings playlist on this channel for more information. So again, I ask you, every single past life that you've ever lived, every single one of them, you've had a spiritual awakening? Here's another thing. Occasionally, I get somebody on the YouTube channel in the comments section or on one of my Facebook groups, and they very loudly declare, well, my divine masculine is awakening, yeah. And then, you know, a couple of months later, I hear from them again, and they go, they ran away from me again, and they rejected me, and they said they never want to talk to me again, right? And I don't tell them, see, I told you so. I don't do that. I actually feel kind of bad for them, but what's really going on is they bought into the twin flame myths. They think that when their twin flame comes back, that constitutes an awakening. Now, your twin flame could be kind of a spiritual person, and that's fine. But here's the thing, guys. If it is true that your divine masculine, so-called divine masculine twin flame, has to awaken in order for you two to be together, then that would happen to all twin flames. If it is true that divine masculine, so-called divine masculine awakening is part of the twin flame template, then it would have to happen to everybody. Right. So constructing a hypothesis, test it out. Oh, look, it turns out that no, not everybody's twin flame awakens. Back to the drawing board, right? It's the scientific method. No, not everybody's twin flame awakens. And in fact, my experience as the world's #1 twin flame coach, over 7,000 students, guys, I've never seen that. I have maybe had 1 or 2 people come along who said, no, my twin flame was already kind of a spiritual person in the first place. That's it. And guys, I've got students on my channel making guest appearances who are married to their twin flame. Again, it's on my playlist called The True Twin Flame Teachings. Go check it out. Their divine masculine is not a spiritual kind of person. Guys, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, okay? Your twin flame does not need to awaken. Again, the idea that all of your incarnations, you and your twin flame are the same soul, right? Is your past life, if you got into a time machine and went back and met one of these people, any one of them, somebody back here, are you guys not the same soul? If you get in a time machine and go meet a past life that you used to be, are you guys the same soul? Yes. Well, that's what twin flames are, guys. Your twin flame is one of your past lives. Again, reincarnation does not have to take place in linear time. You can hop all around in time. And again, no, not all twin flames awaken. That is not something that happens. And again, no, not all of your past lives have a spiritual awakening. You do. You are the one who is going to awaken. And by the way, if you focus on that instead of the other person, they do come back. And you're not going to be thinking about them. And they really want to be with you, you guys. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I brought some clarity to you today. Also, again, I highly encourage you to go check out all of the free resources that I've referenced in this video. I want to bring clarity to your confusion about this very painful journey. Thank you very much for watching.